Alrighty, so today we're gonna continue covering some more Godzilla and Kong, the new Empire toys. And before I move on, spoiler warning. No, for real, big spoiler warning. If for whatever reason you still haven't seen the movie yet, uh, you probably don't want to watch this video because the set that we're gonna talk about today is pretty much it's supposed to be based off of the final battle in the film. So just so I say that right now, all right, before we move on, spoiler alert. Let's go watch the movie. And yeah, let's begin. So very unexpectedly, so around the time that it was revealed, that we were getting a couple more figures. I already talked about it yesterday. We're getting, Drowned Viper and One Eye, and then looking at the back of the packaging, it shows two more figures coming. They're two variants of Godzilla and Kong called the Real Feel, which I still need to talk about that, by the way. That is nuts that they're going that far, with the whole texture feature and all that. So now, out of nowhere, we're getting a 5-pack. Yeah, you're that right, a 5-pack. We're getting the final battle set with Evolved Godzilla, Kong of Beast Club, Scar King, Mothra, and Shimo, or Shimu, however you pronounce it. I don't know. Ironically, if you actually watch the movie, I swear, there's like two parts where they pronounce the name differently. One part somebody said Shimu, and some part someone said Shimo. I swear. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a Mandela effect thing. I don't know. So let's talk about it, right? So again, I did talk about this where Playmates has had this habit of like making action figures, based off of scenes that don't really last very long and are kind of unnecessary. But in this case, it's actually completely necessary for sure. This is actually not just a smart move on their part, but this is like unironically the best set of action figures so far in the line. And I know I said that yesterday with One Eye and Drowned Viper, but that was mostly because those are relatively newer figures with new sculpts and all that. Because most of the time when it comes to like all the other characters, mostly Godzilla and Kong, obviously they reuse like the same body molds and all that, they just paint them differently. But what helps make them stand out the most is like how different the paint job is. So obviously that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. Don't get me wrong. If you can at least make something that stands out big time instead of just like a little bit of a, like it's pretty obvious they're not trying to do like a chase figure thing. No, they're not about that. They at least genuinely try to make something a little different. Yeah, even though obviously it could be a turnoff for some people, but this set though, we gotta talk about it because for sure, like I said, it's supposed to be based off of that final battle that Godzilla and Kong has against Scar King and Shimo. So again, it's hard to really talk about it without getting into spoilers, and of course, obviously Mothra's involved, so that's pretty good. Well, not evolved like that, but I mean involved. let me just say that right now before somebody in the comment section be like evolved, and obviously, yeah. When it comes to Mothra, she was like how do I say it? I mean, they teased her a little bit, throughout the film. And then obviously she plays a big role. She mostly contributes to like when they were fighting like in the Hollow Earth. Mostly, she's not really like in the upper part. You get what I mean? Everyone fights on the surface, and it's supposed to be like this big, huge battle. We saw a little bit of it in the trailer, but I swear, you watch the movie and it's like, no, it's worth seeing for sure. Again, heavy spoilers, and let's talk about the figures themselves, right? Because like I said, this is where we get into heavy spoiler territory. I know I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but you'll see why in a few minutes. So basically, the Evolved Godzilla we gotta talk about for sure, because surprisingly, that one, out of all the Evolved Godzillas that we got so far, this one's actually the one that looks almost screen accurate. I say almost because this one is like really powered up. You see like all like the energy levels, it's all pink and stuff, and that was one of the biggest complaints with the with the normal Evolved Godzilla, where the fins on his back were like they were more red than pink, really. And obviously even the skin color was a lot different. He's supposed to be like a somewhat of a weird light gray color. He's not supposed to be like this weird gray and greenish color. I don't mind it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of 1998 Godzilla and Zilla, if I'm being honest. I know technically that's not a good thing, because that's, if you ask most Godzilla fans, they don't really like 1998 Godzilla. It's not hard to see why, but it's not a bad monster movie. It's a good monster movie, but it's a bad Godzilla movie. That's all I can really say about it. But back to the figure itself. So like I said, it now this newer version that we're getting in the set actually looks not just it looks accurate, like very accurate. The fins are finally pink. he looks all riled up. You know, you can even tell too. Like honestly, it looks so good. It almost looks like a completely different figure. It looks like it's like a new sculpt and everything. I mean, it's not. You know, it's the same body mold as the normal evolved Godzilla, but you get the point. I think that's definitely very good. And of course, even with Shimu, I saw some people point out that why were her eyes whited out and all that, because obviously the previous Shimu figures didn't have that. Obviously that's supposed to be like in that very last part where you know, she's gonna free Scar King. And okay, this is where we get into spoiler territory, right? So obviously, you know, if you watch the movie, you would know that Shimu was kind of like a slave to Scar King, and you know, he had like this weird little crystal that basically controls Shimu, and you know, and she does his you know, his bidding, you know, whatever, however you say it. Sorry for messing with my words a little bit. Remember, I'm still trying to recover from a little cold I have, so that's why I sound a little bit weird. So basically, you know, that's when she powers up. She you know, because she's like a frost creature basically. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're getting into like some magical stuff now. It's about time, because it's like, whoa, like she like freezes him, and then you got Kong like picking up Scar King. And that's the other cool thing about Kong too. He has like this weird like white paint job going on, and that's obviously because of the frost from Shimu's power, you know, when she blasts him. Because obviously even like there was a part where she like tries to freeze Kong, you know, and he's trying to like resist and all that. And the cold, it was just like I can only imagine. Obviously with the Beast Glove, it doesn't just act out as like a, you know, like a thing to like protect his arm, because he kind of broke it in a sense. I don't remember too much, but obviously that was kind of like our last resort too for Kong, you know, with the Beast Glove and all that, and using it to just you know, not, yeah, you get the idea, you know. So that's the thing with Kong's paint job. You know, he had like that weird sort of like white thing, you know. I don't know why I'm calling it a thing. You get the idea. Mothra though, I think out of all the figures, I don't think that one has like the most. I think that one's pretty basic. I don't have the single release Mothra figure, you know, so I can't tell if those two, you know, have different paint jobs and all that. That one's pretty hard to tell. So like I say, I wouldn't really be able to kind of say for sure, you know. It's, you know, but at least we're getting a Mothra figure, you know, so that's a-okay. So far we've gotten 3. We got the single, you know, we got the one, the $10 one, obviously, you know, you got the giant one, and then you got the new one in this set. And then of course, finally, the man of the hour, Scar King, which out of all of them, he doesn't really have that much of a difference with the paint job. He had like maybe like some yellow spots here and there, but that's probably because, you know, he's like on, like you know, he's landed on the beach and all that, so he got some of that sand on him. I'm guessing that's what it is. What's also odd, if you turn him around, if you look at his back, it kind of seems like there's more paint on his back than anything else. So I think that definitely kind of has that idea that he probably like landed on his back or something like that, and he got sand on him. I mean, great attention to detail, but I can't really say for sure if that's the case. And you know, and before I end the video, you're probably wondering, right, Josh, how do you know about all this? You don't got the set, you know. But here's the thing, it's out already. You can literally try and hunt it down, go buy it. Like, it's for real. I'm not joking. There's some people that already got it and they reviewed it. So you know, and if I'm later, definitely while I upload the video, I'll find those other videos and I'll put them into the links in the description so you can check them out, you know, and give them credit. Like I said, they're out in the wild, so it's like this literally came out of nowhere. So it's like, okay, you know, if you don't have these figures, you know, already, this is your good chance to get them. Even if you already do have some of the normal versions of these figures without the crazy paint job, hey, go get it. It's definitely worth it. From what I've heard, it's only going around like 45 bucks or so, and that probably sounds like a lot, but for what you're getting, it's really not. Like, for real, think about it. Buying one figure costs 10 bucks, and you're getting 5. Like, come on, that's great. Go. Even the 2 packs that they released, you know, even like way before the movie, those weren't even that expensive. It wasn't even more than $20. I mean, probably with tax and all that probably is, but not even. You get the idea. I should probably point out too, I think the only weird thing though is that I'm surprised they didn't add Zuko, you know, the tiny little shit, right? I mean, he was part of the final battle too. I mean, I don't know. He's kind of small, so I'm kind of wondering, could they have possibly put him in there? I mean, I don't know. For me, I'm just thought I kind of throw that out there because I don't want to forget about him either. Because he did play a huge role into Scar King's demise. Trust me. Listen, he's the one that killed One Eye. I think, right? Yeah, he like kicked him off and he fell to his death. You know, I mean, you get the idea, you know. But still, it's a really cool set. I want it. I'm gonna go find it. I don't know when though. I'm a little bit, as you can see, have a bit of a moving thing going on, so obviously it might be a little bit hard to do, but you get the idea. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. That's the other problem I do want to point out is that it's the holidays. So you know that this set is going to be very hard to find. And from what I've heard, apparently it's a Target exclusive. Other people have tried to go around. They went to like their Walmarts and all that, and they didn't really find them because those weird 2-packs that they were doing, those were Walmart exclusives. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out. You know, I'm hoping it's true that they are $45 or so. It sounds reasonable and it sounds about right, especially for this particular toy line. So we'll see what happens with that. Trying to think what else I want to say before I end the video. I don't want to. I mean, you get the idea. You know, I mean, it's hey, it's great. I'm glad that they're going a little bit more with this line than they really have to. You know, and of course, if they're pumping out so many figures like these, hey, you know, when we're gonna get a behemoth, when we're gonna get a Skilla figure, you know, it looks possible, just judging by everything that we see. So who knows? So I don't think I'm missing anything else. You know, I'm trying to think too because like wow, a lot of stuff has come out recently with this toy line. So of course I'm never gonna try and talk about and all that. I don't know if I'll make a video tomorrow. You know, because of Thanksgiving and all that. I might. I'm not too sure. Friday I am gonna talk a little bit about my whole moving thing because well, it's kind of important, and I'll explain why in a bit. So until then, that's about it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.